Hey everyone! So I'm making the end of the year BJD tag for 2014. And these are all of my BJDs currently. I'm going to go through each of them as quickly as I can and try to remember to say their name, their sculpt, and a little bit about their relationship to one another, I guess. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. If it does, my apologies if it does roll over to a second video. So yeah, here we go. Alright, so I tried to organize all the dolls kind of by their stories. So all of these dolls right here are in one story. This story has the most characters out of any story. So I think there's 9 shelled characters so far, and then one more that I'm planning on to hopefully get in 2015. These two are a couple. The guy is called Hunter, and he is a soul doll Vito Lester, and he is, I mean, you'll have to kind of, I can't go over the whole story right now, but I did make videos about their backstories and stuff and kind of explaining their world. But he is from the city, and she is as well. Her name is Storm. She is a Minifee Merwin. Okay, so on the left is Dust. She is a Narendal Nare with, I believe, the Dreamer faceplate, but I could be wrong. Her character, she is a half hybrid, half human. She doesn't speak. Hunter found her in the city being sold, and he rescued her and has been with her since, and kind of protects her and such. And then on the right is my Dolcetto Ada named Weed. I modified her horns off, but she is on the 4-legged body. And she is Storm's pet. Storm found her injured out in the wilderness and then took her in and fixed her up, and Weed has stayed with Storm since then. Starting from left to right, there is Fern, who is a Unoa cyst in normal skin. She is a hybrid in the story. In fact, all of these 3 characters are hybrids in the story. She was left behind from her her tribe when she gave birth to a stillborn, which I go into more in the backstories. But she eventually met up with Hunter, Storm, and Dust, and joined their group. Although it wasn't very friendly at first, but she did eventually warm up to them. And then next is Pearl. She is also a Unoa cyst, but in the fairy skin. Again, like I said, she's a hybrid, and she is one of the she's one of the deer from the hybrid from the Seneca tribe, which is kind of like a very secretive hybrid clan, and some people in their world don't even believe that they exist. There's really only 2 tribes, the North and the South. They are from the South. And next is Gael. He is a Unoa BL in Fairy Skin. Although his body is technically, it's a female body with the flat chest, but it's not really noticeable, so I figured it works fine. And yeah, he is, he has, I haven't quite figured out what his title is, but he has some sort of title within their society, and he is her protector because she is not necessarily a princess, but very important in some way. Again, I'm still trying to figure out their society and stuff. They're not really allowed to fall in love with each other, but they secretly kind of have feelings for each other. So they're a couple technically, but not yet formally in the story. So these two are a couple. The boy is named Daniel, and the girl is named Daisy. They are both from the colonies, and they are married. He is a religious leader's son, and she was, they had an arranged marriage, and she was brought in from another colony, and they were married. She is very free-spirited, and their society is pretty strict about things, and she kind of is inspiring Daniel to kind of go and kind of do those things that he always wanted to do that their society never allowed. Alright, so this is the next story. There's only 2 characters in this story so far. On the left is Iris, who is a Ample House Tanya, and next to her is Poppy, who is a Minifee Luca. And a little bit about their backstory. Iris was in foster care and was put into a foster home when she found Poppy. At the time, both of them are really young, and Poppy was really young. And Poppy had been kidnapped and was being kept as a child slave. And so Iris took her, and she ran away with Poppy and tried raising her on the streets for a while. And eventually, though, they did get picked up and were separated for a while. But then I was still trying to figure out the details, but they were reunited when they're both teenagers. Iris is an older teenager, and Poppy is just starting to be a teen. Alright, so the next story does not actually involve all of these dolls. So I'm the 2 on the right. I'm not completely sure who they are yet. And then the one on the far right, especially, I'm not even positive that I'm going to be keeping her. So they're there. And if they do join the story, though, it'll probably be this one. So the 2 on the left, starting from the far left, is Princess Consuelo Banana Hammock, which if any of you watch Friends or watched Friends, you'll understand the reference. And she is a Hookifee Bonnie. And next to her is Kate, who is a Minifee Shushu. And Kate is some sort of, I'm not sure if it's a goddess or not, but something kind of like it. And she has a bunch of, if you ever looked at my Instagram, she has a bunch of like vials filled with different kinds of things, and so she can kind of like make creatures or make people by combining all these elements that make up people and such. And that's kind of as far as I've gone with her story, except for that Consuela was kind of made by her, but she came out wrong, and she didn't have the heart to just destroy her like she was supposed to, so she kept her, and she's her little assistant. But that's kind of as far as I've gone with their story. It might change, it might not. I'm not positive yet. But that's where I am with them. Okay, so then the second to the right is Carol. She is a Minifee Jury 2010. And then beside her is a Minifee Rin, who is nameless at the moment. So for the next story, I'm actually kind of combined into somebody else's story that they created. If you watch Aunt Picaro, she created this story about Miss Emily's School for Excellence, and then kind of welcomed people to join in and tell their own stories about their own characters' attendance to Miss Emily's. And I've been having a really hard time trying to figure out their backstory, these two. But then when she kind of opened that up, it just seemed really perfect for their characters. So these two are kind of from her story about Miss Emily's School for Excellence. I haven't worked out the fine details yet though, but I'm really, really excited as I learn more about her story to kind of start developing theirs. So on the left is a Assist head on top of a Doll Chateau kid's body. Her name is Mary Jane. And then on the right is a Doll Chateau Hillary with a ton of modifications. So he's actually a boy now, and his name is George. Mary Jane is the one that actually went to Miss Emily's school. And then George is actually never went to Miss Emily's, as far as like the story goes at the moment. But she found him in the woods, and he was really lonely because everyone was so scared of how he looked that everyone always ran away from him. But she actually wasn't fazed by it and decided to become his friend. So my very last story involves two characters. Again, the tiny one is a real Pookie Popo named Winter, and then the larger one is a Mirror Magic Seobon, and she is raising Winter. But that's kind of as far as I've gotten with their story. They're both fairly new, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to kind of figure out them. Oh, and her name is Autumn, by the way. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope you guys all enjoyed seeing everybody all together and kind of hearing their names and a little bit about them. I really, really, really enjoy being on YouTube, and you guys have made it really great to be here. So thank you so much. I hope that you all have a lovely new year, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.